guys, it's Bernadette, and today I felt like playing in my journal, so I thought I would bring you along with me. So we're going to have some fun here. This is a large Jane Davenport journal, and it has watercolor paper inside the journal. And so what I'm going to begin with doing is just pointing out that this is washi tape that I put here in the spine just to protect the pages and to hopefully try to protect watercolor or any other type of paint from getting into the spine of the book. So let's get started. I think I'm going to begin today with some collage. I had a subscriber who is now a friend send me some wonderful collage elements, some ephemera, and she sent me 2 beautiful cards along with it. So what I'm going to do is I disassembled the card that she sent me, and I actually cut the front up into pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these as my collage elements. Now, some people may say that I should keep the card and not disassemble it and tear it up the way I'm going to do. But my belief is this: I look through my journal a lot more than I look through a box of greeting cards or whatever I may have. So it's not that I don't love and cherish what I received. It's actually the opposite. I loved it so much that I want it to be part of my journal. So here we go. I am going to just begin by tearing this into pieces and using it as collage elements. I am going to keep this part, which is a personal note from her, and I'm going to keep that separate, but I am just going to add randomly some pieces of this pink paper. And also I have some more that was plain, so I'm going to just add more collage elements and figure out exactly what I want to do. Now, I don't really have an idea of what I want to do on this page, but I do know that I consider this to be like a fairy princess, and I really like the colors on this page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stay within the same theme or color selection as this page and just kind of carry it over onto this page. So I do see that this washi tape is starting to come up a little bit, so I am going to just begin by taking my glue stick and adding just some more glue on this washi tape and sticking that back down. There we go. And I am going to, I do like where it says my name here, so I don't want that torn apart. I do want that to remain on there. So I'm going to begin just by gluing this piece down. And I think I already mentioned this, that this is watercolor paper, so it can take a lot of abuse. Now, typically, I use collage medium, and I am going to use that here in a second or two, but I just have so many random pieces of paper that I'm going to just start by kind of gluing them down with my glue stick. And I'm not doing a great job of gluing it down. I just want to kind of get an idea of how these pieces are going to go together. Yes, I was very surprised by the beautiful card that I received from my new friend, and I just appreciate it so very much. Okay, and I'm trying not to be too particular about where I add those collage pieces. I also have this piece of paper that I really think is pretty. So I'm going to add some of this as well. And I'm thinking that I want to add it more as a strip. Yes, I like that. Okay, so I've mentioned before in my other videos, but in case you haven't seen them, I use a hair dye brush that I got from Sally's, and I use this to apply my collage medium, or this is Vicki Boutin matte acrylic gel, and I did purchase this at Tuesday morning, but you don't have to use this particular matte medium. You can use any brand that you have, but the key to it working properly is that it has to be matte, because you cannot work over glossy mediums like you can matte. Oh my goodness, it's not coming out. There we go. And I'm just going to put a big glob on there. Quickly go over these pieces that aren't glued down completely. Oh, that one's loose. Okay. That one's, I guess, being a stinker, doesn't want to stay in this journal there. So I'll just put that there. And the main thing is we want to make sure that we get those edges glued down. And this, I really do like this brand of collage medium. It is really good, and it does dry nice and matte. So, and a little goes a long way. So I like that about it as well. And I use it quite generously, because if I'm going to take the time to collage and do all this work, I don't want it to come apart. Looks like I'm going to have to go shopping and get me some more, because I'm almost out. That's okay. Just an excuse for me to go get more art supplies. I won't argue with that too much. Okay, now that those are pretty much stuck down, I'm going to add the matte medium onto this large piece. There we go. And go over the top with matte medium. Also, if you're going to use crayons of any type, like gelatos or the Jean Davenport color sticks, the matte medium really helps those go a lot further as well. They're more spreadable, I guess, it would be the correct way of explaining that. Okay, I think everything is pretty much down. I do have a couple of other pieces that I'm going to just put on randomly here, just for some pops of color. There we go. Now, if you excuse me for a moment, I am going to dry this and I will be right back. Okay, that's pretty dry. But while I was drying it, I decided that I want more of this yellow and pink paper. I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to try to fill the spaces that I have left blank on my page. So this is a great way to get rid of some old ephemera that you have that you didn't know what to do with. I love the colors, so beautiful and pastel when I saw this paper, so I knew I had to save it. And another way, if you didn't want to tear up a greeting card that you'd received from a loved one or friend, another way to do it would be also to make a copy of whatever they have given you that you want to put in your journal. And then you can tear that apart. But I personally like having the original in my book. One of these days I'll have to make a video of a junk journal that I am making, and it has my grandmother's, both my grandmothers writing in it with cards and things that they had gifted to me, and it is so special. I just love it. So excuse me, I'm gonna dry this. Normally I would let it dry naturally. I wouldn't use the heat gun on it, but I want to speed up this process so that you can watch me do that. Just checking to see what was on the other side. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a baby wipe. Diane Reevely says that Huggies baby wipes are the best, in her opinion, for using them to paint with. So I always purchase Huggies. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Dilutions. This is vanilla custard paint, and I am going to spread it around on my page. Now, these paints do tend to kind of dry out after a while, so I used the press and seal on them just to help them stay moist longer, especially if I'm not going to be using it for a while. So that's just a nice little tip for you if you have these paints. See, it tends to be kind of dry. that's okay because the matte medium will help spread the paint. And I'm just going to put this color in a few areas. There we go. Done with that color. And that paint is fabulous for working in journals. It's fabulous paint, period. But it dries so quickly that you can just, look at that. If that yellow that I have on my hand is from another project that I was working on a few minutes before I started taping this. So that paint is dry. I love it, love it, love it. Now I'm gonna add some pink, and I'm using the same baby wipe. This paint is a little bit more fluid than the other one, so, but my baby wipes, I don't know why they're a little bit dry. I'm going to moisten them with some water and dampen them. So I'm just trying to incorporate all of these elements together and kind of mesh them. So it'll have some cohesiveness when I'm done. And the most paint colors that I tend to use, like paint itself on a page, are 3 colors. And then a lot of times I will add white and or black to the page. So we have 2 colors there, and I think I'm good with that. Then I'm going to take some of the white linen paint. I'm going to glue that down. That didn't glue down on that edge for whatever reason. There we go. There we go. I'm going to just dry that quickly. And I'm going to take some of the white linen Dilutions paint. And I am just going to pour out a little bit here on the side. Just a hair. A little goes a long way. There we go. Just a couple of drops. And I'm going to use my brayer. Get some paint on there just to add a little bit of texture to this. And then I'm going to go over it again with white paint as well. So I'm just adding spots and texture to this right now. Maybe a little bit more paint there. And I do want to kind of push some of that writing back. I just want it to be barely visible. we go. That's plenty of texture. I'm not a big like texture paste person, or I'll use it occasionally, but I don't use it often. Although what I just did was not texture paste. I don't want to confuse anybody, but when I said adding texture, I don't like a whole lot of texture on my pages. So I am just going to, because I kind of globbed that on, it's going to take a second or two to dry, so I'm going to dry that right now. Alrighty then. I'm liking the way that is turning out. I really am. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull out a couple of stencils, and I am going to stencil over some of these. I apologize, but I do not remember the brand of my stencils. Some of them I do know, but like this one, I cannot remember what brand it is. So, but any stencils that you have at home will work just fine. So, let's see here. I'm going to put that there. And I am going to use my Tim Holtz tool to stencil with. And I'm going to use some of that Dilutions paint. Now I'm going to show you just how much paint a person needs. You see that amount of paint? That's too much. That's about just right. So I'm going to move this book and show you how I do this. I put it down, and then I work the paint into a circular motion into the sponge. And then I get a little bit more paint. And work that little bit into the sponge. There we go. So the number one mistake that people make when they're using this paint and stencils is they use entirely too much paint, Diane says. And Diane Reevely is the creator of Dilutions. So, oh, this side had some sticky on it. So let's place that on there. And I'm just going to stencil. Again with Dilutions white paint. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. Yes, it's adding almost like a lace effect, which is really pretty. There we go, loving that. And I am going to get, I'm feeling like polka dots. So I'm going to get a polka dot stencil here. Here we go. And I'm going to go over that with white. Now I do need a little bit more paint, so I'm going to get some more paint, work it in, and stencil. And I'm going to go a little bit more liberal with this because I want the polka dots to show. And see how it's kind of just pushing that background back and making it look cohesive instead of just a bunch of pieces that are torn up together. There we go, loving that. Done with that for now. And now I'm going to dry it. There we go, loving that background. Now I just noticed that this also has smidgens of green in it, which really go well with this side. But also, it was recently my birthday, and my dad got me a paper pad for my one of the things he got me was a paper pad. So he wrote this little note to me not to use small paper, to just go ahead and use regular sized paper when I practice my drawing. And so I want to keep this little note from him. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down. Let's see, maybe right, because I don't want this to be covered up that much. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to use some glue stick as well, because for some reason, maybe it's because it's almost empty, but my gel medium is not gluing well as I would like it to. And then I'm just going to go over it. For those of you who don't know, my dad is an artist as well, so maybe one of these days I will invite him over and we can do a father-daughter video together. I would really like that. There, that looks cute. And then another element that I received for my birthday is this sticker. It was on a bracelet that my mom got me. So I want to save that as well. And I'm going to put that right here. And it has sticky already on the back. So I'm just going to have to go over it with the matte medium. And along with that, I save a lot. I save a lot of things that I'm very sentimental when it comes to symbols and what things symbolize. And so my mom got me a bracelet, and it says, "My daughter with brave wings, she flies," and it was a butterfly. So I saved the packaging from that bracelet, and I think it'll go perfect on this page. I am going to use a stronger glue, though, to glue that down. And for this, I am going to use the Collall, C-O-L-L-A-L-L, and this really does collage everything. It's very fabulous glue. It works like a charm. So I'm just going to make sure I have enough on that. I actually like that straight. I'm going to put it there. And that should stick. There we go. Because that's kind of like a plastic cardboard. Oh, it's not sticking. Maybe I need to hold it down for a few seconds because this glue is really, really good. It will work. No doubt about it. There we go. And I need to cover my paint before I forget that as well. Now, what I thought I would do is use some of the ephemera that my friend sent me. And she had collage sheets from James Burke that she sent me, which I really appreciate. And I chose some of the collage elements that had the same colors in the page that I'm going to do. So it's just a matter of deciding which elements I want to put on the page now. So thank you, Terry. Thank you, thank you. I love what you sent me, and I really appreciate it. And I hope you are watching this video so you can see how I used everything that you sent me. I drew this girl right here, and I don't know why she's cut off like that, but I probably ran out of room on my paper when I was drawing her. That's why my dad says, don't use small paper when you're drawing, just use big paper, large paper. So I'm gonna collage this. And this brush that I use, I told you I got it at Sally's Beauty Supply, and it was very, very inexpensive. If I remember correctly, it's less than $1, and it's made out of like a plastic, so it washes the matte medium out very easily, and it doesn't wreck good brushes, because I have ruined a couple of my good brushes by using that matte medium, because it's really hard. Even though I wash them afterwards, you can really never get all of it out. There, it looks like she's popping in from the other side of the page to say hi, so that's pretty cute. And I do want to save my friend's writing. Now, typically when I do journaling or a journaling page, especially collage, I'm not this precious about where I put things. I'm taking way more time today than I normally do when I am collaging. So I'm planning it out today just because I don't want to cover up everything that my friend sent me. I like that there. And I don't want to put everything straight up and down. I want it to have a little bit of personality and randomness to it. I like the pops of blue on this page. The colors go really well together. I like the fish there. There, that's cute. Just a matter of figuring out where you want to put everything and how much time you want to take deciding that. But collaging can be very relaxing and so much fun. So much fun. I have a couple of more elements that I am not going to use. I'll save these for another page. I don't like my pages to be too busy. And going to take my scissor and just cut off her legs. And it's a good thing to do sometimes, is to have things hanging off your page, because it makes it look like it continues on the pattern or the design that you're working on. There we go. And I'm just gonna snip that off right there. Alrighty, I'm going to once again dry this, and I will be right back. I'm going to go ahead and add some more dots over this because I do want to incorporate this last layer into the book a little bit more. So I am going to get more of my paint. Work it into that. And what's great about these sponges too, this is a Tim Holtz sponge dauber, and they sell the sponges separate. And once you use it with the Dylusions paint, you can either wash the sponges and reuse them, or you can just get all the paint off on a scrap piece of paper, and once the paint is mostly out of this, it will dry, but it'll stay soft enough so you can use them again and again. And as you can see, some of my sponges are pretty old and discolored, and they still work really well. So that's another little tip for the Dylusions paint. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and just add some small dots over that last layer that I put on. And I think that's good on the dots. And when the page dries some more, I'll go over with paint pens and do some more work on it. But it's still too damp for me to do that at this point. So I'm done with my white paint for now. And I do have a couple of other things that I would like to use on this page. Let's see how they look. These, oh, that's cute. It looks like she was popping up from behind that. These were on the card that my friend sent me, and I thought the glitter on them was just spectacular. So let's see, maybe I'll use that. This one adds, kind of ties into this color, but I'm not really feeling it. Let's see, in this one, these two. Only ones I'm really liking are these two. Then I'm hiding her. Let's see where I can put these. That might be a fun little element. And then you lift it up and she's under there. Let's see. You can put them on this side. Oh, that's cute. Kind of like a little line of cookies. I'm liking that. Put this one on the side here, kind of tuck it in under there. That's kind of cute. I'm gonna wait and see if I want to use those. I might incorporate them into another page. It's getting kind of busy, so I don't really like a page to get too busy. But before I go on and make my final decisions, I'm going to use a Jane Davenport color stick, and this is in aquamarine. Any type of crayon that you have will work, like the Tim Holtz Distress crayons. they will work. And I'm just going to go around the edge to kind of make a border. And I just use my finger. And since I put that matte medium all around the page, it just smears out so pretty. And it just adds a finishing touch to a page, I think. Oh, I like that. That looks really nice. Didn't that just do so much for this page? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around a couple of things that I want to draw attention to and highlight. I love this girl. She is so beautiful. And you can still purchase collage sheets on Etsy, the James Burke, it's JLB Creative, I believe, on Etsy. And he has a lot of beautiful collage sheets for sale, as well as rubber stamps. And classes on Teachable. That's Teachable. Which I just finished a class called Virtual Voyage 2, and it was fabulous and amazing. He is a great instructor. So I was so thrilled when my friend sent me these collage elements that were from James Burke. There. I'm going to let that dry and use some paint pens around these girls once it's dry, and I will be back in just a few. Okay, I am back now, and I am going to use some colored pencils on my page. I'm going to just get these out. And these are, not sure how to pronounce this, Speyer Farben. I ordered them off of eBay, and they are SCHPIRERR space FARBEN. And I really like them. And they weren't that expensive either. Again, I purchased them on Amazon. Did I say eBay? I don't know, but I purchased them on Amazon. So I am just going to add some colored pencils just to add a little bit more dimension here to my page. Go around some of these elements. And I want to write 2020 on this sticky note, but I don't want it to be in your face, so I'm just going to write it in with the colored pencils. So I remember what year my dad gave me this. There we go. And I think she needs some attention drawn to this little dress. That's cute. And I'm going to add some color to her eyes. Oh, that's not wanting to, there it goes. working in your journal also offers so many opportunities to really get to play with your products that you own and to see what really goes with what will work, different combinations, different color combinations. And it's also a great place to just write down thoughts that you may want to get out, feelings, both positive and negative, that you don't really want to articulate to anyone. So it's a good, safe space. My journal is a safe space for me. And I personally don't write anything negative down in my journal. So it doesn't bother me if people actually see my journal and read what's in it, because there's nothing that's private in there. There. Add some dimension to her hair. Maybe add some dimension to this fish body right here. I really like this page. I tend to, if I have one page done, I tend to try to kind of mirror the same feeling on the opposite page. I know you don't have to do that. It's just my personal preference in my journals. That's what I like to do. You, of course, don't have to do that. And I think I'm pretty much done except for the last piece. And I'm going to take some paint pen. Let's see. This is a Posca paint pen, and it is PC1M. I love Posca paint pens. They're great. I'm going to take a piece of paper and just make sure it's working. Okay, it is. And I am just going to go around this with a border of paint. And maybe just add some doodles, some dots. And maybe go over her eyes. I want her eyes to really stand out, so go over her eyes with some paint pen. And then I think I'm going to write over 2020 with the paint pen as well. Yeah, just to make sure that that stays. And then I am going to do some journaling, and that'll be it. I will call this page completely done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope that I answered some of your questions in regards to journaling or gave you some ideas. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And also hit the like button, please. I really appreciate it. It helps out a lot on YouTube. And also, if you have friends who are into art or journaling, please share this video with them. And thank you for watching. And until next time. Bye.